Hello climbers, welcome back to another LKS video. Today we're talking another fundamental skill of climbing, and that is route reading. Not all of the skills in climbing are physical, a lot of them are mental, and route reading is about that. We're going to take a deep dive into the skill, understanding how we look at a route, how we can tell what the holds are telling us through their story, what the crux or the climax of the problem is, down to the finish. Let's delve into the depths of route reading. We're going to look at the start of the climb, we're going to look at how you can understand the climb, the crux of the climb, and the final part of the climb. We're going to look at each part, understand how we can identify what each hold is telling us, the story the hold is going through. Let's jump in with the first stages of doing it. The beginning. Where do we start? This is the first process of route reading. It's understanding and looking at the route and seeing, how do I actually get on the wall? All centres and outdoor boulders have different starts, different ways of telling you how to start the climb. Check with your local centre about how you're doing it. Here at Parthian, Reading, we have a tagged start. They have an S on the start, and then they have where to start. I want you to identify where are the first two holds, where are the first 2 feet, and what's the position you're going to get them in. We're now going to go and look at a couple of different climbs and see what are the different starts. Stage 1 of our practical understanding is about looking at different climbs and trying to work out where the beginning is. We're going to do it on 2 climbs behind me. We have a yellow and a purple. Both V2s, they move us around, and we're going to try. So as I said before, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the start hold. So here at Parthian, we have little start tags. So I know that both my hands are going to go on this hold. And then this is quite an interesting route. Both the feet are there. So I step back and I have a look, and I'm actually just going to be like, sort of get myself in that position. Now I quite like to sit on the floor and do this, so all your limbs are free. So I'm going to be there and there. So how do I know which way to angle myself on the wall? Well, on most holds, the way you're going to hold them is at the perpendicular way to where the big side of the hold is. For this purple, the perpendicular side of this side, therefore my angle of dangle is this way. So I'm pulling backwards on this side. Now on this yellow, it's got a couple of different areas I can hold it. It's got one on top that I could angle down with, and it's got one here. Now we're going to add in the information of the feet. Where are the feet? Because if my feet are here, I know that I can be holding back on the climb. I can be holding back on the climb and seeing where I'm going. Same here. Holding on the climb, just getting myself on the wall. That's stage 1. Really simple. Looking at climbs, having a feel, trying them, starting to work out where are the angles of the hold. Now we're going to take that information into step 2. Part 2 is about understanding the key holds in the sequence. When I say sequence, I mean the order of moves that you're going to do the climb. You're going to look at the climb and you're going to think about, where do the holds go? Which way does it go? Can I identify which way I need to hang or dangle from the holds? Each of these holds tells a key story. So depending on which way it's facing, depends on which way you pull on the hold. Part 2 is understanding the sequence and the story of the climb. We're going to take a step back. We're going to take a step back and we're going to look at this yellow V2. So the story of the yellow V2 is it peels its way up the wall. We'll do the same for the purple. Starts here, it goes like this, weaves its way up the wall. Now I don't need to know the holds on the wall to really understand which ways it goes. You know, if we look at another one on this wall, this red here, V5, we're not going to try that today, goes up and around. It's a really good way for me to be able to understand which way I need to go. The next thing to understand is to take that data and that understanding of perpendicularity of the holds and look at them. So on this yellow climb, it's a really good one. On my 1, 2, 3rd hold, it's pointing that way, so my body position is likely to be this way. The next hold is pointing the other way, so my body position is likely to be this way. So I'm already starting to, without even needing to know the hold types and much about climbing, starting to give myself some body position awareness and understanding. So I can start to almost walk my way through the story. I'm here, we discover my feet were like this, we're going to go up to there, then we're going to have to go like that, and then the finish, we're going to do a similar thing. A little extra tip for your storytelling of the route. You can actually just go and feel which way the holds are good, which way the holds are poor. So we've identified that this purple hold here from this angle is really good. But let's try and pull on it from a different way. You know, like here, I physically can't pull on that hold. Okay, I can push off it, but yeah, that's really hard. This green one here, pulling on it this way feels good. This way, like this, feels bad. Now, as the climbs get harder, as you push your way through the grades, that will become less obvious. And actually, sometimes you'll have to pull on holds in the wrong orientation. Part 3. This is the crucial part, the crux of the climb. And when we say crux, this is the bit that you're going to find the hardest, or the bit that's likely to spit you off, you're going to fall off on, or the bit you have to try the hardest. This is the sequence of climbs where you have to really work out specifically what to do. Now, this can be quite hard and sometimes impossible to see from the floor. A key tip here is to communicate with the other climbers around you, but really just identify. It may be a smaller hold on the climb, it may be a hold that's facing in a slightly different location, or it may be a hold that has hard feet. We're going to go around and just have a look at some climbs to see if I can identify the crux, and then we'll try them and see if I'm right. Stage 3, understanding your crux, practical side of the crux. Now, in that last bit, we identified the yellow went from this position up to this position. I'm here at this point for you guys on the climb. You'll see on the screen me actually doing this climb. And then it flips over. That flippy over move is going to be quite hard work. And also I'm going to look at the feet and go, haha, there's not a lot of feet at that stage of the climb. Now we've got a box. We've got a future video coming where we explain to you how to climb and use boxes to the best of your ability. But that's where the crux can be. And I don't know anything more about crux. And this is a hard part of climbing. Cruxes, you may not actually understand where it's going to be and where it's going to climb. We're actually going to try this now after we've identified the finish. Your final stage is the finish of the route. It's about looking at that final hold. Which way does it go? Which way does it face? How can I utilize the final hold in a position that allows me to be in a controlled state to finish and safely get off the climb? Again, this is a practical place about looking at holds. The more you route read and the more you go through routes, the better of an understanding you will get of different holds. Check out a future one of our videos where we talk about hold types. Also remember, a crux for you may be a very different crux for other people, depending on height, style, and body type. Final part is the finish. It's really simple. Look up at the final hold and try and identify your best way of hanging off it. Now, if it's well set and within the BMC rules of setting, it should be a good hold at the end of the climb. Possibly not, because, you know, sometimes setters like to be a bit cheeky and give you a terrible hold. Yellow, it looks like it's pulling this way. Purple, in the same. I'm actually now going to quickly go through that process with you on the climb so we can see it. I'm in that beginning phase, I'm trying that position. This feels fairly cool. That's something else you might want to do, is just pull onto the start hold. In our previous video, we talked about pulling on harder climbs to get and build your confidence. If you're nervous on the wall, go and look at that video, it's up here. It's a great way for you to be able to understand better ways to climb. I'm now going to pull on this yellow and try and identify. Let's go. Very long intro for pulling on a climb. I'm going to run you through a quick demonstration on a different climb just to reiterate what I've gone through. So this green here, it goes up in a corner, it's a bit different. Stage 1, identify how we actually get on the wall. For this green one, we've got a sloper here, and then we've got 2 feet like this. Stage 2, telling the story of the climb. So the green, I've noticed there's a green hold over there, goes up into the corner, then comes up. Stage 3, we're going to look for the crux. Now, just by hold size on this alone, I think the crux is going to be up there. I've also identified that this hold here is facing in a different way. It's facing this way compared to those little geezers up there, which are really small. So I'm going to have to twist my body through. Stage 5, finally identifying the finish. It's a little hole up there. It's pointing That way, so my body position is probably going to be like this. So, is that start position what I identified? Yes, it was. Okay, and now I'm telling the story of that climb where I go up into the corner. That was all very good. Well, that was all very good. We identified that this hold I have to pull off that way. Now this hold is actually worse than I saw from the ground, which is fine. Into what I perceive to be the crux, quite small holds, up into the finish. Little time for you to interact with the video. Comment below, did the story I tell and go through, or was it the same as the way I climbed it? There we go guys, your deep dive into route reading. Now there's more nuances to it, there's more you can understand. But now you can understand how to look at a route, identify the story in the sequence, find the crux of a climb, work out the finish, and you're good to go. What I suggest you do now, go away and try route reading different routes. It's okay to get it wrong. The more you climb, the more you route read, the better story and understanding you'll be able to do. There's big new holds coming out these days. There's even untextured holds. I've never climbed on them, and there'll be times when you get on routes that you've never climbed. So there'll be a story you don't know. Please subscribe guys for our future tutorials and vlogs on my climbing as I progress. And don't forget to like the video and share this with someone who you know doesn't currently route read.